very few people can just like hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and like write it down and solve it. Very few people go to war. But you hear about the war because it's way more fucking interesting. Like if I don't get invited to a lot of parties, but if I'm at a cocktail party and someone says, "What do you do?" I say, "I'm a divorce lawyer," and they're gonna go, "Oh my God, you must have stories." And if I said, "I do," there was this couple and they were married and then they slowly grew apart from each other. So they decided how they would like amicably resolve their differences financially, and they shared their time with the children. They'd be like, "That's the worst fucking story." Like they want to hear the like, "No," and then he took a chainsaw and he cut the car in half. And then he said, "Pick which half you want, bitch." You know, like that. True story, by the way.
No.
True story. Yeah.
What is your let's go there. What is your craziest divorce that you
Well, I mean, the guy who ran the lady over and stabbed her 16 times.
Fun crazy.
Fun crazy?
No, it doesn't have to be fun.
Just
absolute insanity. You're involved in this case. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I mean, I've had ones where like there's a lot of cash involved. So I had one where they over the years, guy was a dentist and he took a lot of cash. And what he used to do is he used to wad it up in like these round things and then fill tennis ball cans with cash. And then they had a jacuzzi in the backyard and he lined the jacuzzi thing with these tennis ball cans.
Wow.
So there was like $800,000 of cash in the lining of the jacuzzi. And I actually had to bring in an expert to testify to the size of the jacuzzi and the size of how much could be held in the tennis cans to ascertain what the value of the money that he had then removed from the jacuzzi was.
When he took it out.
Took it all out. And he was like, "What money? I don't know what you're talking about. There's no proof of it." You know? So that kind of stuff is like always an interesting, bizarre puzzle. But yeah, I mean, people are constantly cutting shit in half. I mean, the ones that shock me are the people who come in and and by the way, like Apple technology is responsible for more divorces than they
Yeah. That's real discovery right there.
Yeah, sorry, shots fired, Steve Jobs. I'm sorry, Tim Cook's gonna my iPhone's gonna stop working now. Love your products, don't do that to me, man. But the truth is, like, there's the whole integration of the different devices. Like a lot of people don't realize, like, your fucking text messages are coming up on the iPad that your kid's playing with. And then your wife. Like, you're upstairs texting with the girlfriend about, like, it was so great last night, you know, and then the kid is like, bing, 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 and mom comes over like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "I don't know, the cartoon stopped." And mom's like, "What is this?" And all of a sudden there's naked pictures of the girlfriend, and she's reading in real time, you know, and this happens like once a week. I get one of those cases.
Okay, question about that. Do you think those people are just at the point where they're okay getting caught? Because that seems so foolish.
Yeah, I ask myself that question a lot because sometimes people are so brazen
that it's just like you
kind of go, like
on some level, subconsciously.
Yeah,
you're like,
I mean, you know, subconsciously,
they're just cowards. They can't end it, and they're like, "I just need some." If something does happen where it does end, I'm okay with it. But I don't.
Quiet quitting.
Yeah, I think a lot of them feel. You know, Patrice O'Neill had a thing he used to say about
won me over, right?
He had a great thing about how he said, you know, cheating. If you think about it, is a man. A man is leaving his home to get some happiness without hurting your feelings.
Go to fuck a girl behind a dumpster.
Right. Like, but
to get a little bit of happiness.
So I think a lot of these
without
guys,
hurting your cheating is for you.
Yeah, it's for you. Yeah, and I remember like hearing that and going like, but you know, when you spend enough time with people who've cheated, that's legit how they're like, "Look, I love her. I love her. But we don't have that anymore. Like, we have this, like, we're running a daycare center together. And, like, I love her. I like coming home to her. I like her mom. I like her brother. Like, we all get along. I like all the stuff we do. I like our home. I like our life. But, like, I want to fuck sometimes. Like, and I don't need, like, I had a friend who once said to me, like, the moment you know you're in a relationship is when you're in the middle of sex and you think, one of these days I've got to get laid. You know, and I think that most married men do not acknowledge that this is correct.
No, it's a bit.
It's a bit. Yeah. Most married men will go, "Oh, yeah, okay." Like, I kind of get that. Like, the difference, because, again, I think there is something really true about you can't, some of the freaky shit you want to do in your head, blame Pornhub, you know, it's on everybody's heads. You're not going to do that with the person that then you'll be like, "Okay, so which of us is going to bathe the kids now?" Like, you're not going to do that. So I think men sometimes move away from that kind of a connection with their spouse, and then they say, "Look, I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to lose my family. In other places. I want to chase this shiny object. And by the way, like, I mean, look at how many half-naked women we are exposed to on a daily basis, thanks to Instagram and TikTok and everything else.
So it's our fault, really. We have to keep degrading the women we love.
I mean, I don't think that's bad advice. I mean, so insofar as they at some point enjoyed that, yes. Like if you started out that way and then you said, she might secretly be like, why don't you ever like a filthy slut anymore? Like I'm also a mom, but I'm also a filthy slut.
Yeah, I'm both. Like, we can be both.
You can be both. I think you probably.
So Mark, that's why our parents are still married.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is, bro.
Yeah, my dad's got like the gimp costume in the basement. You know, like,
there's no Madonna whore complex. You gotta just put them together.
Your parents got 8 kids. I could have told you they were doing some wild shit.
My dad always makes this comment. We'll be at dinner. He's like, you know, Amanda, you still got that nurse outfit? And everyone's like, Dad, what the fuck?
Wow.
He's like, I'm joking. But, dude,
that's awesome.
That's interesting.
But yeah, cheating is one of those things. I mean, I joke that I've got a PhD in cheating because you listen to people who've been cheated on, you listen to people who've done the cheating, but the people that I'm shocked by are the people that, like, they know their spouse is cheating. Like, they had one of those iMessage moments, or they, like, the cameras catch stuff, all the little Nest cams, security cams, the baby cams, nanny cams, catch stuff, and they don't let the spouse know that they know it. And they're like 3-4 months in to, like, I watched this person having sex with their mistress on the nanny cam, and I'm still sitting across the table from them. And I find myself thinking, like, how the fuck do you keep that?
Yeah, you're the sociopath, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
I see why that person cheated.
That. Like, you kind of go, how are you not, like, just losing your shit on this person at all? You know, but people can.
And why do you think
kids usually, or?
I think it's I don't know. I think it's a combination of, like, if they say it out loud, it's real.
Yeah, and they're in denial.
Yeah, sometimes people come into my office and, like, they have a very hard time. There's tissues on, like, every desk because people are just having to say it out loud. You know, having to, like, say out loud, like, this thing's broken. You know.
Yeah, you also see why, like, sometimes it's forgivable for people. Like, I think sometimes when you're, like, young and in a relationship and you don't have, like, children or anything like that, and there's, like, a cheating thing, it's like the one thing you can't do. It's like,
well, I got to tell you, we're in modern society. Like, what I will tell you is a lot more people come back from cheating than you'll ever know.
So yeah, I'm interested to talk about that, not for personal reasons at all. No, nothing to do with that. But yeah, I feel like when you have X amount of kids, you have homes, you have a life that you guys all enjoy, and then the husband does some crap. When the wife does it, I bet the dads are like, fuck this, it's fucking over. But when the husband does some shit, I wonder if some of the wives are like, ugh, does he not have a relationship with her? Is it a one-time fucking thing?
Well, it depends what the shit is.
Right.
It depends what you do.
Well, and the question...
Wait, what do you mean by that?
It depends on the nature of the infidelity.
Yeah, if you get your dick sucked while you're on a trip with the boys or something like that, that's different than if you're fucking, like, her friend in the community. Because now you're embarrassing her and there's this whole...
Well, what I'll tell you is the difference between men and women is when a woman gets caught cheating, the man's first question is, did you fuck him?
Wow.
And the woman's first question is, do you love her?
Do you love her?
Because that's the distinction. And I will tell you, in my experience, and again, don't fucking pillory me for this one, guys. I didn't make up gender roles. I'm just observing what's sitting on the other side of the fucking desk.
Yeah.
But what I'm not talking about you guys. I mean the comments. The reality is that women are much more forgiving of those things because I think there is a part of them that goes, yeah, you're a fucking idiot.
You're a guy.
Like, you're an idiot. You're a guy. Like, this had nothing to do with me.
And
this
there's
has
so
to do
much
with
to
you.
lose.
Yeah.
That you losing so much.
Yeah.
Whereas a man allowing his wife to cheat, he's lost his entire identity as a man.
But what's hard?
I don't think a woman loses anything as a woman when we cheat because the expectation of us is we're a bunch of fucking idiots that can't stop putting our dick and stuff.
Yep.
They spend the majority of their lives telling guys that they don't want to fuck them.
Yeah.
So when they do, you must have wanted that shit.
But the problem I have too is
real quick. Bill Maher I was doing this pod with Bill Maher. He had a funny idea, and he was like, I oftentimes hear female rappers say this thing like, "I'm gonna steal your man," like I'm gonna steal your man, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
It's like that's the hardest. How the hell you stole me? Like it's the easiest thing in the world. That's some like hard task to do.
No, it's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah. Stealing somebody's girl is tough because you're taking away from a life you really love.
Right. That's why I've always said the whole thing of a hall pass. is the fucking dumbest deal in the world for men.
Yes.
Because like think about it. If I say, you know, all right, with my girl, if I say to her, like, all right, we each have a hall pass, and she goes, okay, mine's Bradley Cooper, and I say, okay, mine is, I don't know, Angelina Jolie,
she can fuck
whatever. The chances of me, if I meet her in the first class lounge and I go, listen, just so you know, I have permission if you want to go have a little something. And, you know, but the chances of like a guy being like, you know, if she went, listen, I'm allowed to suck your dick right now, he'd be like, I got 10 minutes. It's never a good deal for the men.
Well, because we pick the wrong people.
I'm being ambitious, you know.
You got to pick
camera setup.
Fucking JetBlue flight attendant, and then some gay guy with tits, and you're just like, that's the one who I'm going to cheat.
Yeah, that's all.
something attainable.
Yeah.